Jones.
So your new film is Jasper Jones. Can you tell us a little bit about what drew you to the book or the play? What was it that you discovered first?
Yeah, I discovered the book, and like every other reader, there's like, you know, the book sold 500,000 copies in Australia. It's very loved. Like everybody else, I was drawn into the murder mystery, but I loved the, you know, the beautiful dialogue that, and the way of looking at the world, Charlie's world, this young guy's world, and how he perceived things. And so it's a very funny novel, and also very dark. And then it also has something to say about Australia, about empathy for other people. So it had a great storytelling, and I thought it could really appeal to a wide audience, and it'd be a great piece of cinema, entertaining cinema. So I tried to pursue the rights, but by that time someone else had got them. So I was like, oh no, miss out on that. And then it came back to me in a way, because 3 years later, or a period of years had passed, and then I heard a friend of mine had the rights. So I rang him up and asked if I could be put on the list to direct it. And I think my persistence paid off. I read the whole book, I annotated it, I went in with a pitch, you know, of how I thought it should turn out. And I think my persistence and commitment got me the gig over other people who were perhaps more cool and groovy and had big beards, you know. So I was pretty happy about that.
The ones with the beards, they don't put in the work. They don't put in the additional homework.
Look, some bearded men put in the work.
Sure.
It's hard to generalise about men with beards, but, you know, I never rest on my laurels. You know, I go to every job with a, you know, big commitment and hard work, and I don't take those opportunities for granted.
Well, the story takes place in 1965. Now, this is many years before you were a teenager, but when you were looking at this story, did you kind of see elements that you kind of related to about this kind of teenage struggle?
Yeah, well, it's set in a small town in the 60s, as you say, and, you know, Australia was going through great change then. You know, you had feminism sweeping the, you know, the first world. You had Black Power movement, you know, through Africa and America and coming here. So it's a great transition of time. And I'm really familiar with, although I wasn't born then, obviously, but I'm familiar with that era because, of course, my father led the freedom rides. Charles Perkins led the freedom rides through New South Wales in 1965, protesting against segregation that existed. So I found a real resonance with, you know, the issues that are around the, you know, the themes in the film, but also feminism, and it relates on a number of levels. So, and it's also just an exciting period to set a film in.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to cast young actors? Because you've got some great young actors in this film. You've got some great veteran actors as well, some, you know, tried and true performers like Toni, Collette and Hugo Weaving, where you know their body of work. With young actors, maybe they've got a film or two under their belt, or maybe not at all. So what are you looking for when you're meeting with young actors?
I think it doesn't matter whether they're young or more mature. Actors, you've either sort of really got it or you don't. And the cast of actors we had were a combination of, some of the young people had never been in a film before, others had done like 4 or 5 movies. So we had a mix of experience, but all of them had were able to pull off a performance, and it didn't matter what their experience was. It was actually about having that great thing that actors do. They can just pull out this emotion out of themselves, and it has a truth, and it conveys real, you know, a realness to it, and it's totally convincing, and that's what distinguishes them. So you can have someone who's Toni Collette's age, but, you know, she can't act like Toni Collette, you know. So it's about their talent, really.
Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear.